So after you've created this login page, the login page redirects the user to the select products page, right? It's this next page that displays in a second here. This page. So this is what we're going to code now in this next video. So if we go back to our source code and we look briefly at the login, we can see that if indeed the user has typed in the right credentials, we redirect the user to the select products page, and we can look at the select products page here. It's in it's in the private folder. These are HTML templates that are only exposed if they're in a private folder, and they're only exposed to the user if the user has been authenticated in the system. They can't access these pages otherwise. And if you look at the select products page, you can see there's again a reference to client.js, which we're going to have to modify in a second. And there's this onload method that calls getBooks, and that's a method that we're going to have to add to client.js. And then in addition, we have a message div where we can populate a message, and then a books div where we can populate the table containing all the books that the user then can select from. So let's look then at how you build the getBooks method, which effectively calls the server, makes a request to the server, and the server responds with a list of all the books, and then the getBooks takes that response and builds a table, which it then uses to populate this div. So if we go here, client.js, and then look at the getBooks method, we have a fetch to the getBooks URL. You can then look at this documentation again in the API to see how it's done. And then the fetch method inside this getBooks function waits for the response, and then it then calls the displayBooks function, which you also have to code here. It passes in that response, which we've called books, and then here it parses through that response to build the actual table that is then displayed here in that books div that I just showed you before. So all of this code here iterates through the books response and builds the appropriate HTML to add here. And that's basically all you have to do for the displayBooks, the displayBooks function, and of course the getBooks function, which calls the displayBooks function right here. And that's it.